Right, Katy. Who is Katy B?
What a question.
I know. Who is Katy B? So, like, basically, just who are you? Just so when I'm asking you the questions about your fitness journey, people get like you see your work life type.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Go for it.
I am 33. I am an accountant, so I work in finance anyway. So a very kind of sitting down all day normally kind of job. Yeah, I mean, I don't really do much else. I basically work, come to the gym. That's basically my life. It is can be quite stressful, yeah. A few years ago, I had a very, very stressful job in the same company. So I've been working in that company now 15 years, which is a very long time to be in one place. But yeah, I've had a very, very stressful job. It was very difficult. I was travelling a lot for it as well.
Right.
I've now moved into a management role, so now it's stressful in a different way, managing 7 people day to day.
But you work from home now?
I work from home most of the time.
Right.
So I work from home 3 days a week, and then I'm in the office 2 days a week.
Where's the office then?
North Shields.
Right, okay.
So living in Durham and driving up to North Shields every day at one point was quite tough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I work from home now, so it makes it a bit easier.
Right. Is it more stressful working from home, or is it? Or what do you?
I much prefer working from home.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
right.
I much prefer it. I get a lot more done. I get distracted quite easily in the office.
Right.
Like if I hear a conversation going on, I feel like I could help in that. I'll like go over and try and help, and then I don't get my own work done.
So you're managing people from home?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, which I don't mind. I see them a couple of days a week, so it's all right. I try and like put my one-to-ones with them, like when I'm in the office, it gets like face-to-face time and stuff. But
so has this happened because of COVID, like the home working, or were you doing?
I was working from home a lot anyway, because my job, when I was in my really stressful job, that was based in Geneva, but I wasn't.
Oh yes, that's right. Now I remember.
So I was kind of remote working a lot anyway, because all of my team were in a different country, so there was no point in going to the Newcastle office, because I didn't really work with anyone. So I got so used to working from home. I was working from home. I mean, I probably went to the Newcastle office maybe once a month, and then I was in Geneva 4 days a month, and then I was at home the rest of the time. So I got so used to it. I got so used to having the time, like travelling to Newcastle and back every day. It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours of your time. So like working from home was like, could get up a bit later and have my tea a bit earlier.
You did used to roll just onto your laptop, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
At one point.
Yep. I did. Again, very stressful times in my job. I used to work from my actual bed because we didn't have a desk at home. So my laptop would be back down the side of my bed. So I'd get up, I'd get back in.
You wouldn't
basically,
even get up, would you?
No, basically,
get
my laptop, put it there, and then I was there for like 9-10 hours.
Jesus.
Try and get to the gym for 45 minutes, come back,
that
work
would
a bit
kill
longer.
me. That,
barely moved.
Yeah. I think where I've moved about so much, like where I move on a day-to-day basis, that would destroy me. I like zoned in. So so that's you. So what's your fitness background, say, before starting with us?
As a kid, I was very, very active.
Right.
My mum and dad pushed us into everything. I was a competitive swimmer, so I was like swimming for the county.
Yeah.
So you'd like training from when I was 7, 8, like 5, 6 times a week.
For the swimming as well.
2 hour sessions, kind of 5, 6 times a week. I'd play squash. I used to do karate. I did rock climbing, table tennis. Like I did pretty much anything that you could do in our town.
Right.
So every day of the week I had some sort of sport going on.
Right.
When I left school, because I was in the leisure centre so much and I was around all of the lifeguards all the time. I was a lifeguard for 2 years. College.
Yeah.
So I did lifeguard for 2 years, again, like a lot of movement. And then I started work and stopped everything, basically. I didn't do anything.
So when did you start? How old were you?
I started work at 18.
Right.
And I didn't, I joined a gym.
Yeah.
I didn't go to it. For 10 years, I had a gym membership that was £30 a month that I went to maybe like twice a month. Like,
right, okay.
It was appalling. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't walk anywhere. I'd park as close as to the Tesco as I possibly could.
Would you?
And all those sorts of things. I wouldn't ever think about going for a walk particularly ever. So I was very, very, very stationary most of the time. And as I said, driving up to Newcastle and back, sitting in my office chair all day, I just didn't do anything.
So did you think, so probably the mindset switch from there, was it just like, I'm working now, that's it? Like,
I just didn't feel like I had the time.
Right.
It was weird. I didn't feel like I had the time, and then you just get used to just going home and just watching TV, not really thinking about it. Like it didn't cross my mind really. It was probably like 5 or 6 years in that I realised that I was really active. I used to do all of this stuff, and then all of a sudden I did nothing.
Right.
I think within my first year of work as well, I was in a car crash. So I think that was like,
right.
I don't know whether that stopped us trying to do stuff, which was a very bad move because it made it worse. But I don't know.
Was the car crash bad or? It
was on the motorway. It was a high speed one, but I didn't get the physio that I should have at the time, which made it worse. So
right. Ow.
Yeah. So I've always had a few back problems since then because of that, I think. So.
And just, it probably did put up a barrier to not do anything.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you said like 5 years later, you realised you were doing it. Is that when you started? What did you start? Did you up your level?
I tried to start doing things. Yeah,
right,
I tried to like go back to swimming a little bit and things like that. But it was frustrating because after swimming competitively, you'd be like doing like 200 metres as a warm-up or 400 metres as a warm-up. And I'd do 400 metres now and I'd be like...
As your full workout.
Yeah, be done. So it was a bit frustrating.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a bit of a straight. So I did try and like increase it a bit, like tried to go to the gym a bit and things like that. And then,
right.
But it wasn't very successful.
So when did you start here then?
5 years ago. So it was like 10 years.
So the time
10 years
frame.
of doing nothing.
So is it like literally not doing much from the 18 type up until actually starting here?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, my question was going to be, why did you start here? Well, why did you start here then?
So I saw some adverts. I knew someone that came here as well.
Right. Who?
Gemma Abley.
All right. Okay.
So I knew that she came.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd say I was a member of a gym and I'd signed up to that gym because I'd just moved to Durham actually around that time as well.
Right.
And I signed up to just Freeman's Quay gym.
Yeah.
I went maybe twice. Realised I was not going to continue going. I'd still paid up for the year, so I just kind of kept that, but I just thought I could wait 6 months and then join here, or I could just join here and actually do something. So that's what I decided to do. So I joined Carnage. When I told Gemma that, she was like, "Oh, you're not doing the Carnage one, are you?" I was like,
she was doing barbell at the time, wasn't she? Yeah.
She's like, "Oh." So yeah, I started on Carnage and I did Carnage for 3 years.
Right. So how was that?
I really enjoyed it actually. It was very difficult. As everyone has, the first session of Prowler is pretty grim. But I mean, at one point I was coming twice a day. I was coming morning on an evening. I didn't like missing any sessions. So if I was away or I was going on holiday, I felt like I had to try and make them up because I didn't want to miss out. It was kind of weird. So yeah, like I really enjoyed the Carnage stuff. I got a lot out of it, I think.
Right.
And
routine.
100%. And that was a big thing for me, actually, because I realised I was working longer and longer and longer. It's like I'd go into work at 7:30, and at that time I was still working up in Newcastle every day. And I'd be coming home 6, 7 o'clock. My now husband wasn't too pleased with that sort of life. But coming here meant that I had to leave at 4 o'clock because I had to get from Newcastle to the gym on time. So I had to leave at 4 o'clock. And that like completely changed like my mindset on it, and now I very rarely work long hours because I just have to go to the gym. I have to finish work so I can get somewhere.
So because of you putting that routine in play from the set times, you're doing less work, but you're still getting paid the same.
I'm more productive than I ever was, I think.
Without, like you're forced into having to finish. Rather, because we find that with a lot of people on the night sessions. I think we were only talking about yesterday, I don't know, but we were, I think, where the nighttime people, they fuck it off so much. Because they just let work go over. I mean, Luke gets his Messages from your clients, don't you, 5 minutes before the session, stuck at work, and it's like, fucking hell, you're stuck at work an hour ago.
6:25.
Yeah, 6:25, message off one of them, stuck at work, and it's like,
Yeah.
you can probably relate to that in a way.
I can.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for me now, particularly, it's easier because I do work from home, so I can, if I've got
And you live
something
around the
critical-
corner.
And I live around the corner, yeah. It does help that I'm not very far away. There's traffic isn't really an excuse for me. But yeah, I'd come round, if I had work to do, I'd come round, do the gym, and then I'd come back and do a bit of work if I needed to. But it was even just having the break, even just having the hour of talking to other people. And not just staring at my screen. Work. And then I'd go back and I would feel a bit more productive for like the last hour. I'd get a lot of stuff done, and then I'd be all right.
Yeah.
But if I worked straight through, I wouldn't have been as productive. Do you know what I mean? Like taking that hour out meant that I could work 1 hour and get the same amount done as I would have done within 2 hours of not having the break, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
So that helped me loads, yeah.
It's like, I mean, I've been taught of people like having power hours and stuff at work. Like you just set a timer and you just fucking ram as much work into that section as possible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you can fit loads in. If you've got a list of stuff to do and you have no distractions, you can get so much done.
You can. It's one of the things where people work to time. I think if you've got 2 weeks to do something, you'll take 2 weeks.
That's what it's called?
I don't know.
Is it Parkinson's law?
What's that?
Where whatever time frame you get given.
You fill it.
Yeah, so like students, you have 2 months to get this thing done, and they do it the very night before.
Yeah.
So they always fill that time out.
Yeah.
But if it was exactly the same thing and you only had a month to do it, you would get it done in a month.
Yeah, 100%.
It is Parkinson's law, isn't it? Yeah. 100%. You just Google it. Cheers, Jamie, aren't you? Hi, cheers, Jamie.
Yeah, but that's how I find a lot of people work, and that's how I work as well. I work to deadline, so if I give myself a deadline, I'll do it, and that's kind of the way that I am.
Is it better for someone else to give you a deadline, though?
Probably.
Yeah. I think it definitely is. Yeah, if we've got like emails or something to do, that's it. Like I give myself like an hour, and that's it, and then cut off and do whatever from there. So you got married though when you were here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get in shape for that a bit? Was it a bit of a motivator?
I did. I mean, when I first joined, I think I did really well within the first kind of 6 months.
Right.
Because I mean, I went from nothing to doing 4 times a week training. It was, and I started looking at my food more and things like that. So I did really well then. I probably kind of relaxed it a bit after that. And then, before I got married, I tried to push a little bit more. I was doing a lot of carnage then, for sure.
So, like, where you backed off, is that through, like, say, the COVID periods, or not?
I got married just before COVID, so it was December before COVID I got married. It was 2019.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't necessarily back off, but it's not like I had. I didn't like put weight on, but I wasn't like, continuing to like change my shape or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then I focused a bit more, obviously for the wedding. And
right.
Then through COVID, I mean, I thought that I was doing all right. Like I was coming to all of the online sessions and stuff like that. But then I realised afterwards, I definitely ate a lot more than I thought.
What so you'd gained in COVID?
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
And I think particularly the year.
Do you know numbers?
No, I don't. But it was actually, to be fair, during full lockdown, I was probably all right. It was when we started coming out of it. And it was like, I can go out for food more now. And we're like going out for food all the time.
Half-price food vouchers. What was it like the help out to eat out?
Yeah, exactly. It was like stuff like that.
We did 2 of them.
We were just going out every Sunday. We went out for Sunday dinner. Like we never used to do that. And I found it quite difficult, strangely, coming out of lockdown and like still trying to focus. It was strange because I think in lockdown I had to be very strict with what I was doing because there was only like I had to have some sort of goal, do you know what I mean, just to get through the day. And then when we came out of it, I just found it so difficult.
Did you?
I mean, I did have COVID as well, twice, so that probably didn't help.
You got it you only went to Tesco's once.
I went to Tesco once. And
that was it, and you got COVID? Yeah. Mad.
Typical.
I know. I remember that,
But I had like...
Full lockdown, you went to Tesco as well?
Well, no, but I'd literally within a week, I'd only been to Tesco.
That was the only thing she'd went out for.
Yeah.
And that's how she got COVID.
Yeah, nightmare. Delivery.
That was for the vulnerable. Or if you can get a time slot. I think we got delivery once, actually. We managed to get delivery and then it was click and collect after that.
Well, we only got delivery when we had COVID and couldn't leave the house. So.
And you got a time slot?
Yeah, I managed to get a time slot, yeah.
Well
Sainsbury's, to be fair.
Yeah, hi.
It cost more.
So let's go. So away from COVID, and then it was after the first one, and then you start the barbell. Was that just before that November 4-week break, or was it after that bit?
Yeah, it was just around then. It was. I did like a 2-week trial.
Right.
Around the November time.
Because then we shut for the 4 weeks of November, didn't we?
Yeah, and then I started after that.
Right, so you started in the December for 3 weeks.
Yes.
And then lockdown for 4 months after that.
Exactly.
Fuck.
So I did the barbell at home for the month.
Yeah.
Or the couple of months after that, yeah.
Which was pretty good, I thought.
It was all right.
Yeah. I thought I did a fucking mint job.
You did, yeah. It was very good. It was very good.
To be able to think of that many different dumbbell workouts with what did we have, a set of dumbbells each, one kettlebell and a band?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah. I thought it was all right, actually.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Actually,
it was good. There's a lot of things you can do with a kettlebell that you never
there
really
is,
thought.
Yeah. When you're forced to do it, it was all right.
Yeah,
it was okay. So from there then, so what would you say, weight, physique-wise, like going from there, and then we'll take it all the way to the September before you start the end of September, October time shred, first shred.
I probably gained 2 stone.
Right.
In a year and a half, I would say.
Right, okay.
Even while doing barbell, because I wasn't really tracking properly my food. I was kind of estimating and underestimating a lot of that. And I think, just coming out with the COVID stuff, I did find it hard. That January was really tough, and I just think I didn't really care. Do you know what I mean? That wasn't my priority at the time. So, I probably put like 2.5 stone on over that time.
I think I decided to add weight that time. Yeah, because the year before we cut in the first lockdown, and then that 4-week one, I like hammered it as well to prove that it can be done. And then when it came to the January, I was like, fuck that, because I hated that November 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it was like, I'm just going to eat, because I was doing like a carnage session and then the barbell session like on the online. So I think I put a bit weight on as well through that period. Do you know what you got up to then?
I was up to 12 stone, just over 12 stone, I think.
Right. So that was just before that first shred?
Was it 12? It was something like that, yeah.
About 12, yeah.
No, it was, because I finished at 10. Then I lost 2 stone.
You didn't look it.
Everyone says that.
Which is mental. Like, I mean, obviously we know I say your day-to-day, stuff like that, and it's like, I think because of obviously how well you've done on the shred, I didn't realise like the change.
I didn't tell anyone I was doing the shred.
Right, okay.
I didn't tell my family, I didn't tell any of my friends, I didn't tell anyone I was doing the shred, because I knew everyone would say...
You told your fella though?
He knew.
Oh, right, yeah.
I was eating chicken for every meal. I think used to. But I didn't tell anyone, because I knew they would say, well, what are you doing that for? You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. But it's like, but they obviously doubt me, and I dress in a way, like I've got used to dressing in a way where I can hide it. A lot of my weight.
RT hoodie.
Well, yeah. Promoting all the time.
Yeah.
But because my weight normally goes around the middle, so I've always worn like floaty tops and things like that, so you can't tell. I don't like wear tight fitting tops, and that's so no one can tell.
Right. Okay.
So I didn't tell anyone about it, and then so when obviously I finished the shred, after those 12 weeks and 2 stone down, my mum was like, what is going on? She was like, that is insane. Like, and when I showed her the before and after, she's like, well, I never thought you looked like that before.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
It is, it's crazy.
It is. Do you know it is the same with Paige as well? Like, I mean, she isn't big or anything, do you know what I mean? Like, you both weren't big or anything, but when you say, like, when you have leaned out, it's like, fucking hell, like, the difference is brilliant.
I think it's what you said before, I'd, like, accidentally done a bulk.
Yeah. You had been, really, because you were still training hard.
Yeah.
Like, you were never missing your sessions.
No, didn't miss any sessions.
Yeah, and when we came back, fucking hell, I mean, you did get strong. Like, 115 15 for 5x5 on your squat?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that right?
120 at peak. No, we did 131.
Once.
But it was a 3, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't
Fuck
for
off.
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing heavy deads as well. I
Yeah.
was doing 130.
Right, okay.
5x5 as well on deads at one point.
Yeah. Fuck. That's what
Got
good.
strong legs.
Yeah. Fucking really strong legs. Jeez, man, that puts a lot of them to shame, to be fair. No, I'm
It's funny
talking
when I
lads
was-
there. I'm
I
not
was
talking
looking
male
at-
lasses.
I know, I remember like looking at the boards and stuff, and I was like looking at my front squat, and I was like, why is my front squat heavier than all of the lads in the
Yeah,
gym?
yeah.
I was like,
I don't know why they're so weak at it.
But
they don't like training it.
Well, I think they just don't like it.
Don't like it, yeah, that's what it is. They don't-
honestly, like people with a front squat, and I mean, like I get it, like where some people are like,
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable a little bit. But when people are coming in, oh, I've got bruises, and it's like, however, man, you'll get used to it.
I think mine's only 20 kg lighter than my back squat.
Your front,
Yeah, it's like literally the same. I was pissing about what time you did a week and I just did 160 before.
I mean, he's just showing off now, isn't he?
I'm glad this isn't picking up. I'm sure you said 16, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, your front and back. The
Yeah, I think it is. I get it. I avoid it though. I definitely avoid the front squat. But if I do it, I'll. Do you? I suppose the safer. Doesn't hurt your back as much, doesn't it?
I get that.
When I back squat, I get quite a bad back bump.
Right.
And then, like, it's sore the next day.
I get that but doing back squat now, I feel like my spine is compressing when I put it on because it's so
it is.
heavy.
Yeah.
So it does actually hurt my back more to do back squat than front squat. But
Right. Fucking
so I
hell.
can understand that.
So you got mega strong.
I did.
Then you won the
Strong man.
July Strongman.
Yeah,
That was the first one.
that was the first one. I was very shocked at winning that, to be fair. I did
Yeah.
not think I would win that in any sort
Was
of
the
stretch of
Prowler in that
imagination.
one?
Don't remember.
Because you are Queen
Probably.
Prowler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Some self-recognition, eh?
No, the
No, the
first
July,
one.
I'm thinking,
It was the deads for reps,
Uh-huh.
log for weight.
yeah.
I remember that. I think it was farmer's carry. I think it was running with the.
Did you actually win
Your-
any event that one?
I would have, if Prowler was in it, I would have
It was
won that.
Prowler, yeah, Prowler in that. Because it's like you always seem to be like an overall,
Yeah.
like top there, where people are sometimes like mint at one and then
Yeah, I might get like
Yeah.
third in all of them, but I'll end up getting third in all
yeah,
of them. so
yeah,
winning,
getting them.
yeah.
And then you did your first shred. How was that?
The first shred was all right.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I injured my back quite early on in it.
Right.
I had a weird. It was my own fault.
Was it standing? Were you having to stand at
Yeah.
your desk or something?
Yeah. So what the shreds weirdly kind of changed everything for us, to be
Right,
honest.
yeah.
Considering I'd already been here like 4 years or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd hurt my foot doing something, wasn't at the gym, I just
Yeah,
hurt
yeah.
it. So I went to do a deadlift and I wasn't standing properly because I was trying to protect my foot, which
Yeah.
is the most stupid thing you can do.
Yeah.
Did my normal 125, 130 deadlift and my back, after I did all of the reps, finished
Right.
it, took my belt off and my back was like, ow. And
Right,
it,
okay.
Like, it was really painful.
Basically, the belt holding you together.
Yeah, it was. I
Right.
took it off and it was like, no.
Yeah.
So after then, I couldn't sit down. It was that painful. I couldn't physically sit down without it hurting, like
Right.
really badly. So I ended up just having to walk everywhere. And like, I know the worst thing you can do for back pain is just to sit down and not do anything.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna have to walk, which actually helped me a lot in the shred because
Yeah.
before, like I actually
Because of
looked
the
at my
minimum
steps.
step requirement. Yeah.
So I actually looked at my steps before. My average steps before doing the shred I was on like 7,000 steps
Yeah.
a day on average, and now 18,000 steps for the past
Yeah.
year on average. So I've
And that's
increased
been
my step
consistent,
average.
hasn't it?
Yeah, every month more than 18,000.
Yeah, because you used to come in here,
I used to drive here.
drive
I used
here,
to drive here, and I lived 10-minute walk away.
drive here, and this was from picking your laptop up,
Yep.
bed,
Yep.
drive here in the
Yeah.
afternoon, and then with like how many steps you on? 1,000.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that was 5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a night, yeah.
Fucking hell.
And now I can come in. This morning I came in, I'd already done 3,000, a half hit.
How many?
3,000 steps, just a half hit.
Yeah. And that's
Hadn't
before
been for a
you've
walk
started.
yet.
Yeah. Like most people out there, that is their life now. Mm-hmm. And they don't realise it because like even though we say drop your calories, but they'll still not do the steps.
Yeah.
This was probably going to be one of my last questions for you,
Well,
but
no, it's
in
fine.
any way, how much of a factor do you think that comes in, like the steps?
100, like, it's complete, like, the steps for me was the biggest factor on the shred, by far. I was going from nothing to, I mean, you get a set as a target of 12,000, knowing that I never did 10.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm going to push it further, I'll do 16. And then one week I did 17. I was like, oh, I'll just try and do 17 now. And then next week I did 18. So I was like, right, I'm going to stick with 18. I'll see if I can do 18,000 steps. And I do it. You just have to force yourself to do it.
Yeah.
It is hard. Like, I found it working from home, even in the office now, if I'm on like a call where I don't have to talk, I can take it on my phone. So I just go for a walk, listen to it. And I find that when I'm doing like trainings and stuff at work, I don't really pay attention if I've got like messages flashing up and emails coming up. So I go for a walk and I listen to the training and then I actually focus on it. So I'm getting actually better quality training from someone at work and then I'm actually getting some exercise in as well. It's like, so I just force myself to do it, and now I can't sit for longer than a film. Like, I have to get up and walk around because I'm like gone from not moving, as you say, from 18 hours in the day to now I have to. And for me, it had such a big impact to my weight loss on that shred, like 100%. I can't even.
It's crazy. Like you hear us day in, day out about it. Like get your steps in, and just it's so. I mean, we've had someone before saying steps don't work for them, and it's like fucking. She only did it for 1 week.
It 100% does. I know. And like even say like when I hurt my back, and I couldn't sit down. And I had to stand up working. I had to like create myself my own little standing desk at home on an IKEA shelf. And I haven't sat down since working.
Right.
I'm still stood up a year later.
Brilliant.
Working, and that has helped my back, like my issues from my back from my car crash. I'd never complain about back pain anymore.
So it was only this. That's about this time last year. So that was when you were at your heaviest then. Yeah. So it's just within this last year, isn't it? Which is mad. So this first shred done. Final week of it, you won the strongman again.
I did, yeah. Again, that was a shock.
So you were like, how light were you now? 12 weeks? Or actually, it was only over 11 weeks, wasn't it, the first shred?
Well, I got COVID, didn't I? So I actually technically had an extra week on everyone else.
Yeah, but you fucking had COVID, didn't you? Yeah.
But even then, couldn't leave the house on COVID. I was pacing around my living room to get my steps in.
Right, yeah. Which can be done for anybody.
Yeah, you can.
Again.
Jog on the spot while you're brushing your teeth.
It is. And I know people might think that's ridiculous, but it's got to be done.
Yeah, you can. But yeah, I was probably, I lost 2 stone in the full shred, so it would have been, almost 2 stone lighter, and then I won the second.
Won the second strong. So between that, were you happy with the results and everything?
Yeah. And I didn't think in a million years I would look like that, to be honest. I didn't think about that at all. I hadn't realised that I'd gained muscle during...
the time.
Yeah, I didn't really think
your
about
4 years of bulking.
Exactly. I think it just shows you the difference of carnage versus barbell as well. Because I actually looked at my photos from when I'd initially, right before my wedding and things like that, when I was only doing carnage, and I was doing a lot of cardio. And I looked at the weight I was then, and I was the same weight, before my wedding, versus at the end of the shred. And I look completely different. It's crazy how.
So you're talking from the first shred to then.
The first one,
Mad. And so between that point and that means you've been lifting weights 10 months before you start the shred? 10 months, But I suppose the thing is, even with the carnage side, from my point of view, probably it's better from your point of view, but I think it gives you a good base to 100%. Get into that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I wouldn't have, me personally, it's quite... You see a load of free weights and you're like, what do you do? I never picked them up when I went to a different gym, right? But I think going into carnage, it gets you the routine and things like that as well. And then you kind of see that it's like a good kind of starter, I think, to get into. It definitely was.
And I suppose like you're still with the same coaches and stuff like that, which you always, you're not just going into from there to a meathead gym somewhere.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's exactly. You can see it's the same sort of people. People move across all the time and stuff, so it's quite good.
I think I would say 90% of the people are from there and then across.
Yeah, and I think I would say like my results from Carnage though, at that time, I was over the moon. Like, I didn't think about, I'll get like build muscle. It wasn't really in my thought then. It was more just I wanted to be a lot leaner. So I was like, mint. I've lost like a stone or however much I'd lost at that point, and I was mint.
Buzzing.
I was like, I'll do. And then I started on barbell just to see what it was like, to see how strong I could get. Like I've always been like the younger sister. Everyone thinks I'm like weak and stuff like that. So I was like, I'll give it a go. And then people like Paul Fields just saying I'm a beast all the time. I was like, well, I'll give it a go and see what happens. And I really enjoyed it, and I've really stopped since.
So from happy with the first shred, and then Christmas, and then what was that period like? And I've just been talking about like with Luke, like the in between period. How was that?
It was all right.
Because you had the shred to totally focus on. Yeah. And then what was the?
It was okay. But I think
grey area.
It was all right. It was hard. I think, and I think it is difficult to transition out of it. And I think if you are goal orientated, if you've got something to aim for, like I need to get down to that or I need to get up to that, it's something to aim for. You can even like say it with weights, right? I want to like get up to this and like lift this amount. It's a goal. Whereas if you just want to stay the same, it's a completely different mindset, and it's like you have to kind of think to yourself that that's your goal. Like by the end of the week, I still want to be this. Like, and it was quite difficult.
With women, I like to say go for performance, if not like.
Yeah, focus on the performance. But then it comes down to like where you would say, well, bulk to get you.
I wouldn't say bulk. I would
just say performance.
It's goal. This is what you need.
Yeah. Just give them what they've got to eat rather than the total calories.
That mentality.
Yeah, the eating's difficult.
We focus on the number, I want to be that number forever because I feel good at that number. But if you added 10 pounds of muscle, you'd be a better version than that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever get scared of the calorie numbers then? Because I throw them in just, right, you're on 2,000 for 12 weeks. See, because you got lean, and then what was the mentality like around food from there?
It was difficult, and I did increase, and I wasn't tracking as strictly as I was during the cut. I was like a bit more lax about it. I go out for meals more and things like that, which is quite nice after 12 weeks of not eating out. But that was quite good. So, it was a mindset change, and I don't think I fully properly changed my mindset on it.
Right. Okay.
To be honest, but it was difficult to try and not have a goal.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So I just I think it was because I didn't really have a goal. I probably go a bit more off it than I would have. If you see what I mean? I didn't like reverse diet, put it that way.
Yeah. Nobody fucking does, do they? It's impossible. Like, I mean, it is. I mean, some people do it very well. Like Michael Atkinson on the night, he's doing it really, really fucking well. He's like, he's just perfect for us. Love him. but he has like done it really well.
He's such a good cook.
Yeah, he is such a good cook. Yeah, I mean, he's got fucking 5 barbecues, so that helps as well. Yeah. But so after the grey area, you wanted to do another shred?
I did, yeah.
Why? Even though you looked fantastic from your first one.
I felt like I could have lost a bit more from the first one. I felt like I still had a little bit more to lose, and I knew I had put on more, obviously, since the last shred as well, in those kind of 3 months or so. And I had a trip to Mexico planned, so I thought,
right,
why not look in while I'm there?
Yeah. How was that shred?
That was extremely difficult. That was loads more difficult than the first one.
Why?
I think having a 3-month gap was a Mistake.
But the 3-month.
Because I finished in December, and then I had 3 months of kind of doing whatever.
Right.
But then doing it again, like again, dropping the calories, not going out to eat. And we had some trips planned, and it was like it's difficult for my husband as well.
You fucking did have some trips at the start, didn't you?
Yeah. I went away.
I'm sure you did that on the first shred as well. You did.
But it wasn't right at the start, and I thought the second one, it's right at the start. I've got the rest of the time to make it up. But that just ended up being I have 8 weeks to now lose this weight. Which was really tough. I found it really difficult. Kind of just sticking to the food. In the end, I got used to it. And in the end, I just ate the same meal. Meals, 3 meals every day. Like I just ate the same thing every single day, and I got used to it, and it was fine.
And 18,000 steps
a day. But it was a lot more tiring. I'd say like Luke on a night would just be like, "Will you just eat some carbs?" Because I would just come in like a zombie.
Fucking hell, we should have been telling him that the last few. No, we should be telling him that the last few weeks. Fuck me. It is role reversal.
I know. Because I was just knackered. I just had no energy. But yeah.
You refuse coffee as well.
I don't like coffee.
Oh yeah, you don't like coffee, yeah.
I don't like coffee.
She's not an adult yet, Luke.
I picked up Diet Coke. That's I just found ways to kind of cope with like hunger and stuff. It was quite bad because I felt like I should have been doing over 12 weeks, but I really only had 8 in the end because I messed up the first 4. So I did find it really hard.
But, I mean, even me and Luke were like, what the fuck's Katy doing? Fucking coming in, like when we were in your in, it's like, what's she doing? She's actually doing it. But then, obviously, at the end, fucking...
Again, I didn't think I would ever look like that. We could obviously see it coming towards the end. I mean, your fucking delts, like your striations were popping out. And then obviously on that photo day, fucking unreal. Yeah. It was, wasn't it? I think for me, obviously, I don't see my back, I don't see my shoulders and stuff. So it's not something that I'd like notice. And that's obviously, that's the stuff that on me that looked the best. Then it's
hold on, your abs were right out?
Yeah.
Yes, they were. Like the thing is though, I mean, from that first shred when we looked like fucking hell, she's done amazing. And then that second one, I mean, I think you sent us the 3 between each other, and that was
crazy.
20 off of what you started, ended on the first one.
It wasn't 20, no.
It was about.
It ended.
Was it? No, the first shred.
Yeah.
You finished it. You had a weight.
Yeah.
And then the second one, I'm sure you were 20 off of the first weight.
No, it wasn't that much. It wasn't actually
10.
that much, was it?
No, I ended at 10.
On the
and then
first
I went,
one.
Yeah, and then I went back up to 10.7, and then I went down and 9.3.
So there was only actually
11 pounds.
11 pounds difference between the two.
Yeah. But I look like it's still.
And a better tan.
Yeah.
It was much better.
Sunny.
It was
do it in the winter.
Yeah. But now that if we ever share them, it's like I am sharing them soon, by the way. Yeah. But the 11 pounds between like that one to that one is fucking. You would never think just 11 pounds difference.
You wouldn't. I didn't think that. As I say, I didn't think I would ever look like that. And I was like, Yeah.
5% body mass, total mass, fucking hell.
Yeah, it was. And at the end of that one as well.
Did you do a skin fold?
Did we do a skin fold at the end of that one?
I'm not sure if we did.
I think we did the first one,
but not the second one.
I would have said you're about 25 on the first one, so you're probably like 20 on the second one.
Yeah, it was lean.
Extremely lean for a while.
Yeah, it was really lean. It looked mint. Yeah. So what's probably been the biggest takeaways from the shred, because you're still staying lean? What's been how has it helped? Is steps still? Yeah.
Honestly, steps is the biggest thing for me.
Right.
I can't sit still now. I feel a lot more healthy for it. Like I can't just lie in bed all day or sit down all day. I'm like, no, I need to go for a walk. like it was chucking it down the other week, and he was like saying, "Oh, have you walked here?" I was like, "Yeah, I could have drove, but I walked here because I need to get my steps in." I'm like, I've got like an Apple Watch, and I make sure all my rings are closed every day, and I'm like, I'm now on.
I don't understand that.
I'm on a streak now, so I've not. I've closed them every day since October last year.
Right.
Like,
fucking hell.
Even on holiday in Mexico, I kept my watch on all day to make sure.
Did you?
Did.
Does that charge up overnight, or is it just?
Charges up overnight, yeah.
Right, and then you put it straight on. See, that's why I like the Fitbits, because once a week I charge it, and that's it. And I wear it during the night.
So it's fine. But yeah, steps for me for sure, and having a goal definitely helps.
Right.
And like an achievable one, not something something's challenging, but not like ridiculous that you're gonna fail immediately and just sack it off. Like.
So, you've done all that. So what's your current goal then? Because you're sort of in that no man's land again, aren't you?
I am.
Because you've had your holiday.
I have. Which
I think you got some leg recognition for.
I
when
did,
you were on.
It was the most random thing. I'm now used to it at the gym, like people complimenting my arms and stuff because they're the most obvious. Because I never wear shorts. And then Mexico, I had a plate of desserts because it was all you can eat. There's desserts there, so I literally a plate of desserts, and a girl came up to me and was just like, "I know this is going to sound really weird, but your legs are amazing." She's like, "I can tell you train. They look amazing." And I was like, "Thanks."
I've never had that said to me.
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't.
You haven't.
Not yet.
But yeah, so it was quite nice. But yeah, I mean, obviously after Mexico, and 2 weeks of all you can eat. 3-course meals, every meal, like breakfast,
good food as well in
breakfast,
Mexico.
lunch and tea. So I was like 9 meals a day. That's basically
but still getting your steps in?
Still get my steps in, still get my activity and stuff like that. Didn't put on, I put on quite a bit over that, so I'm looking to drop a little bit, but not in like a shred kind of format, just like the regular kind of pound a week sort of. To get back to like halfway where I was before, and then after then I'm going to try and maintain and up my calories a bit more. As I keep being told, to try and maintain that. But that's what I'm going to try and do. Obviously, still like to do the ninja challenges and strongmans and stuff like that. So try and be a little bit competitive in that as well.
Right. A charity event?
For me, that'd probably be a good target for me, to be fair, something like that.
The High Rocks with Jack and Paige.
Something like, I am very goal oriented, so something to like work towards for me is good. Put one in
place. I mean, we've got the Carnage Games, which is very similar to High Rocks, which you don't
I like Carnage Games.
Oh, it's completely different.
Oh no, can't be. Oh no.
You'll love it. No, it's like a full on.
If there's Prowler, then I'll be.
I'll explain after this because I want people to see it. Right, and so last one then. I know what it's going to be. What advice would you give to someone? Oh, that's Luke. Advice to anyone wanting to live a leaner, healthier life like you have now. What would be the number one thing?
Can I pick two?
Go for it.
So obviously I'm going to say steps because that has changed me. The other one that I would say is honestly just do something. Right. Like as I say, I was paying for 2 gyms for 6 months because I wasn't going to the first one. And I wasn't going to it anyway. So waiting 6 months, why? Like just do it. Get up and do it. Like if you wanted to do something, just force yourself into it and get yourself into the routine, and then it'll just become your life. And now, like the gym for me is just part of my life. I don't really question it.
It's a routine.
Don't think about it. 100%.
Mint. Thank you very much, Katie.
No problem.
Perfect. Spot on, Luke. That was mint.